very quickly before I start the video, you can now buy these amazing Cumbria edition hats off the Agri-Contract website. So if you fancy looking like me, not that anybody in the world would ever fancy that, please go and buy one, and tell him how they're so much better than his hats, because I'm obviously really epic. So this is just water. We've got this out of the yard. The tank in the yard, what the roofs drain off. He's soaking up. Oh wow. Well, it's that's one. Okay. This maybe a few tree guards to go and put back on. It's one way to do it. That is definitely one way to do it. Right, until we have taken silage off, these cows are desperate to be out. And when I say desperate, I mean like they are escaping. They are leaning on fences daily. They're a pain in the ass until we get the first cut off. Roy's just going to do an ollie. Wow! Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Whoa. Down. Your behaviour's ridiculous. Get out of the way. Does anyone remember Nose Ring? She had her very own TikTok that absolutely infuriated the world of non-farmers, should we say. Seriously. I've got to get in there and spread that. Stop it, child. You're an idiot. Do you remember Nose Ring? Sorry, I totally got distracted and didn't end up telling you what I was going to tell you. Here is Nose Ring. Look at what she looks like now, the condition of her. She's building back up. Moving away, so I'll just walk away. I did a TikTok about Nose Ring. So she likes to suckle off other cows, hence why she's got the green ring in. She also lets anything suckle off her, hence why the loss in weight. Insert the video here of what she looked like and why we brought her here.
I am a victim of a hate crime.
That's not what a hate crime is.
I am just about to brush this trough out. The silage is getting right to the end of the first cut. It's not quite as tasty to the cows, if I'm honest. Leaving a little bit. The other day we had an inspection. It was a welfare inspection, completely random, and it was a lovely man from APHA called Derek who came. Really good crack. Everything was absolutely spot on point. He had a look around the animals. We talked about all sorts of things. We talked about the TB situation. Just had good crack with him, really. I think he probably will get a sense of when he walks onto a farm, people that are responsible and people who are not straight away. And yeah, he said everything was absolutely fine and you just get a piece of paper signed. Now, I had spoken to another friend of ours who says that he's had 3 inspections in 4 years. No, 4 inspections in 3 years. Yeah, it was more than 1 a year once. And he said it isn't anything terrible or it's not anything it's done wrong. It flags up on the system because he has over a certain amount of animals on, and also he has pigs, sheep and cows. Now, obviously we have pigs, sheep and cows. You have to give him your animal numbers, how many you've got, show him things like movement records, medicine books, that kind of thing. Luckily, all ours are immaculate. Roy's very anal about paperwork, and obviously I've spoken to you about movement records and things before and showed you the books that we use. I can also show you our medicine book, which I don't think I've ever actually showed you. That gate up because I know someone will escape. Houdini, these cows, I'm telling you, if you turn your back for a second, they will escape. Further to yesterday's video on the he, she, they, them basket for the Merlot, I have got a harness on order. I should put the link below. It is www.bdsm. No, I'm joking. No, I'm joking. I did have the idea that I was going to get like a leather harness off some, proper hardcore leather site and wear it on the Merlot just for a joke. But I don't quite know if people could take the humour or whether they think I was being serious. I might still do it. Medicine book, and I can't find it. There it is. Ooh, right, so this is animal medicine book. This is what is, hold on, in it. So it started a new medicine book just before we got to the farm. And yeah, this is, I took over filling in the medicine book from then on. Click to a random page here, and you can see it's all filled in. It's all by me. I am the person who administers the medication. I'm standing in the shed because Roy is about to come with the feeder. Right, so we'll go for Malcolm Angus. Can you see? There she is. I'll show you where she is as well. So she was administered Sinulux or 5 mils. What you do is you fill in your medicine book and you put in, let me read you here. So we have 15th of the 3rd, 2021, Meloxidil. It's got the batch number, the quantity, the ear tag of the cow, the number of animals treated, the date used, the reason for treatment mastitis, withdrawal period 15 days, datement treat ended or datement withdrawal ended if you need it, who administered it, administered the medication, and what you did with your unused medication, that kind of thing. So every single cow or calf or sheep that is given medication here has to be written down in this. Now I've been through about 3 of these. Now come dairying, these won't be used quite as much because obviously your access to medication is limited with having milking animals. Take it serious. Look, I've still not trained these cows, man. They just will not stop. When we go into dairy, like I've just said, the access to medication is different. I don't think any of these fancy medications in here will be used readily as they are with beef animals. I suppose you could still use them on dairy calves because they will still get things like pneumonia. But as for the cows themselves, it is such a massive risk giving them antibiotics when you are milking. I know farmers who, like where we get our calves from, for instance, Chaz was saying to me, they literally don't use anything other than penicillin. That is it, Penstrap. That is it. And if they do use it, the precautions that they take, The milk does not go into the same, I think it just gets tipped away, to be honest, or given to calves. It doesn't go into the tank. Like, there's a very, very common misconception that milk has antibiotics in. This is not the case, like at all, not the case. It's crazy how many precautions dairy farmers take to make that sure that that does not happen. One of them is that they are just not as free and easy with medications as we are, and I know we are. Got things called meat withdrawal periods. So, for instance, right, we've got here, let's have a look. Right, minoxidil's 45 days, Trimox is 39 days. Oh no, sorry, minoxidil's 15 days. Alamycin is 35 days, Betamox is 39 days. All these things are very scientifically done. Dexafort, whatever that is 63 days. You're not allowed to sell it for 63 days. So this is to stop any kind of medication being in the food chain. They don't want this. However, they don't just sell their product at the end of, when they sell their animal. They sell their milk daily. So they are extra stringent. For instance, if a dairy farmer were to give antibiotics to a lame cow, it is your duty of care to give them the care that is needed. You have to give them antibiotics if it is needed. It isn't an optional thing, that you can do without. It is your duty of care to look after the animal and give it the best and give it what it needs. And if it needs treatment, medical treatment for something that's wrong with it, it is your duty to do so. It's also a common misconception that organic means they don't get antibiotics. Crazy. If you were a dairy farmer and you accidentally let antibiotics into your milk tank and that tank was taken away by a tanker, as in your milk was taken and put into somebody else's, and it was tested as it is and found to have antibiotics in it, the whole thing would have to be tipped. And you would be in some serious trouble, They'd fine you, penalise you, whatever. Like, it's not allowed. It's such a common thing that people get wrong. And it's also one of those facts that people throw around on the internet and think that it is, that's gospel. It is not the case, especially in the UK, it's not the case. Of the times when you're arguing these points and you're trying to, back British agriculture, as we all do, you are faced with world views, as in, there's growth hormones in meat. No, that's American. You may have watched a video online, with a generic voice over the top, but that was in America. It's not here. In here, they were banned in the 80s. In 1989, I remember Emmerdale, Jack Sugden, and his brother. What was his name? Joe? No? I can't remember his name. He got in trouble on Emmerdale for giving the cattle hormones, and it wasn't allowed. Yeah, it's been banned for years. It's just, this is why we do what we do. We just put little snippets of information out and hope that people learn that little bit along the way. Like today on TikTok, the PETA shearing adverts have resurfaced, which is just absolute shit. Honestly, it's a load of rubbish. They basically have, they basically imply that you take the skin of the animal off with the wool, which is just crazy. So yeah, I've made this little video it's actually an older video that I've just doctored up for this purpose and put back out again, just to show people the realities of shearing a couple of sheep, even on a larger scale. I mean, I don't profess to have millions of sheep, but even on a larger scale, it is not the case. There is no, massive big gashes and big raw red patch. It just doesn't happen. It's like a haircut. Yes, it might look slightly rough around the edges, especially on a larger scale. I do agree. But it is speed, it is effective, it's getting through those animals, it's keeping them in for as little time as possible to keep them as non-stressed as possible. To suggest that you're causing mutilations to the animals, it's because you're shearing them, is just crazy. If your animal isn't happy, it isn't healthy, and it's worth less money. That's the bit that they seem to miss out on. So if you have a dairy cow that's underweight, really miserable, not very well cared for, it will produce less milk for you. If we as beef farmers have cows or calves that are not well looked after, they're not given the right vitamins and minerals, they're not given colostrum properly, they're not cared for, they're kept in squalid conditions, the animal will be worth less in the end. And the same goes for shearing sheep. if you don't care for the animals properly, they will be worth less in the end. So as a business decision, it means that it's just silly. It just wouldn't happen. It just wouldn't happen. It's just crazy. That is a wrap for lambing 2023. Hello, Bambies. I'm just checking. They look like they've had a good feed. Yeah, scanned as a single, but we will accept that bonus lamb. Both little girls, and they're both full. Okay, chickens. Right, off you go. Go on, off you go to mum. Good girl. Cute. Leave you be.